It's time for me to share what happened with my defamation lawsuit that I filed 2 years ago. I legally couldn't talk about it this entire time, but now that it's over, today I'm talking about it. Some people think that I'm an easy target until they learn otherwise. Let's get into it. Let me give you a quick summary of what happened. In my Time to Talk video, I shared how there was a malicious campaign of over 60-ish Instagram posts disparaging me, claiming I feel eating disorders and body dysmorphia, and that I spread misinformation and have no knowledge or qualifications for the content that I make. There were also a bunch of other unfactual claims. In my follow-up video, I shared how he went back and forth between apologizing to republishing disparaging words again, then back to apologizing again. I didn't know this at the time, but apparently he had also published public apologies to others as well for separate matters. He even had the audacity to suggest a collab and seemed willing to flip-flop on his own advice to his audience. I didn't know what type of person I was dealing with at the time. Perhaps he was obsessed with me, or just insecure and craving online validation. But despite all the troubles he caused me at the time, I accepted his apology and let him off the hook without paying any damages. I just wanted nothing to do with him and for him to stop referring to me. But he took advantage of the situation and repeated his mistakes. So I had no choice but to file a defamation lawsuit. Separately, I also shared how I fought against a media company who made similar claims and doubled down on it. And this all happened over the last couple of years, and here we are today. The main problem with all of this is that people and the media were quoting this like it was all accurate, and people were amplifying the hate. When you have a certain number of subscribers, people sometimes don't look at you as a human being. You are someone they can exploit and they'll try to bring you down. So these were some serious allegations about me and my channel. So that led me to filing a defamation lawsuit against this individual as well as a media company, and that was about 2 years ago. So let me share with you my experience of what happened next. Now, going to court is very costly, extremely time-consuming, and also very mentally draining. And even if you're confident and decide to go through with it, there's gonna be some weight on your shoulders that, like, damn, someone could go bankrupt here. So even if you're successful in your case, it's not a guilt-free feeling. There's a lot of thoughts that go into this process. Like, why am I even thinking about the other party? And what about me? What about me? They weren't thinking about my well-being. And is it wrong for me to seek justice? My point here is that going to court is not an easy decision to make. But I decided to proceed because I needed to defend myself. And you only go through all this effort if you're very confident that you're gonna win, which I was. I knew what the hard facts were. Like, you can't say that I have no knowledge or experience in fitness when I started my fitness journey in 2016, and that I took the course for my Cert 3 and 4 in fitness in Australia, and also I got my certified personal trainer qualification from NASM. So part of the whole process of going to court is collecting all evidence, and when you submit a bunch of evidence, while on the other side, they submit close to nothing, it tells you a story, doesn't it? I also had to engage expert witnesses to give their unbiased opinions. It cost a lot of money, but it was worth it because I'd rather hear from actual fitness and nutrition experts giving their input whether my content is as harmful or as misinformative as what people claim to be. To be honest, it's all really extra and over the top because I'm just creating home workout videos. Jesus. But when someone's gonna come at me and when it's a legal matter, obviously I'm gonna go all in and win this. So fast forward to this year, as we were getting closer to trial, I received an offer to settle from the media company, and it included a settlement sum amount that I thought was substantial enough. And since I was happy with the amount, I discontinued proceedings against them. But as for the other individual, well, that's a different story. As I shared in my previous video, this was not meant to drag out at all. I had already let him off the hook once and settled for $0. But that agreement was breached when he decided to make similar mistakes again. And with this whole case, there were numerous delays and extensions requests involved. And only much closer to trial, after almost 2 years, he then offered a more reasonable settlement amount. To be honest, it was a really hard decision to make. I had to really weigh my options, whether I want to go ahead or to take his offer. Was I really going to settle after all these hard work I've put into the case? I was so ready and looking forward to go to court because I was ready at that point. I mean, it was almost 2 years of preparation. I was looking forward to go to court so that I could get a much higher and accurate compensation for the amount of damage that is caused to my reputation, to my well-being, and everything. But then again, I also have this offer to settle. Like, has he really learned his lesson here and that he was actually sorry? It's suspicious because he had dragged this on when it was not necessary at all. Like, the longer he delayed, the higher the cost it is for him and for me. What that meant is that it's only fair for his settlement amount to be higher now. So that wasn't very smart of him at all. Like, he could have just done that on day one. Instead of after 2 years and needing to pay a higher settlement, it was actually quite frustrating to see someone this stubborn. It was just hard to deal with. Now, with the trial, technically, I only have to win one imputation to be successful with the case. There were 60 posts worth of imputations with a stack of evidence on my end and close to no supporting evidence on his end. And the best part is, one of my submitted evidence is his own admission to malice. So I'm sure you can see why I was confident about this defamation case. But if I did proceed, I could very well be bankrupting him and it could affect the rest of his life. Being bankrupt can severely limit a person. Besides needing to pay debt for a very long time, you don't have full control of your finances. It's managed by someone else. You can't travel off the country without approval, and you get all these inconveniences like you can't spend on things that are non-essentials, like buying a gift, taking a taxi, or even a Netflix subscription. And it becomes a very limited way to live. But on the other hand, I really wanted to go to court because of the additional trouble he put me throughout all this. So I'm sure you can see why it was such a difficult decision to make, because I didn't think he deserved any further compassion. But after carefully considering everything, all my thoughts and his circumstances, I decided to accept his settlement offer. I'm not entirely convinced that he's genuinely sorry about it. In his eyes, he's probably the victim. I believe he wanted to settle because it was the best way out for him. And he knows what his actions have cost him. It would have cost him so much less when it was $0. And he played with fire and he found out how much it hurts. Although I think you can put a price tag on the hurt and reputation damage that I got, and a successful court ruling would award a much higher compensation, I wasn't doing it for that reason. Ultimately, my decision was because I felt justice was served. I was able to talk about it like this. I got a substantial settlement amount from both parties. I got my apologies and didn't have to have any guilt of potentially bankrupting someone. Hopefully, he can learn from this and not do this to someone else, since he knows how much this will cost him, as he'll be paying me literally every month for a long time. So there you go, that's a summary of how this whole legal drama went. Hopefully this is the end of it because I don't want to be talking about this again. Moral of today's video is to not post shit to defame people because it comes with a high price tag. Moving forward, I'll probably be more vocal and share more with you guys so I don't feel so alone. Like throughout this journey, I felt really alone. When all these attacks happened, I felt really alone because a lot of people were jumping on this hate bandwagon and it's still kind of going a little bit. Anyways, thanks for staying till the end of this video. I really appreciate you guys if you're still here, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye!